While there's really no wrong way to meditate once you understand the practice, there are a few basics you should understand first if you want to do so effectively. Welcome back. My name is Jared, and thanks for checking out my channel, The Reflective Man. This is episode number 2 of a series of 7, Blue Collar Meditation. Today's episode, How to Meditate. Last time we went over why to meditate, now we're going over how. There are many different traditions and styles of meditation. Some focus on breathing, some focus on mantras, some focus on observation of the mind. But they're all training the same abilities: attention, awareness, and understanding the mind. The method that we're using here is a very simple and practical approach. It draws from several different traditions. I've broken meditation down into an 8-step process that should make it simple for people that are just beginning. So let's get into it. Step number 1, pick a time. Longer sessions like a half an hour of meditation may be a goal here, but we're simply trying to be realistic for beginners. The idea is trying to find time that you'll actually be able to commit to it. If it's 10 or 15 minutes here or there, then it's 10 or 15 minutes here or there. We want consistency over longevity. And once we have some consistency, we can work on longer sessions. Everybody has a different schedule, so what works for somebody else might not work for you. So the goal here is to commit to a time, whatever it might be. Step 2 is choosing a setting. Now, when I say setting, there's several different factors that work into this. It's not just the place. It's also the sound, the lighting, the feel of the area, and how likely you are to get disturbed during this. So try to find an area that you might not be disturbed for 10, 15 minutes. For some of us, that's a lot harder than others. Some of us are taking care of some other people, so it might be difficult even just to get 10, 15 minutes. Preferably an area that's not too bright or with flashing lights either. Something that you can concentrate and get into the zone and actually feel the meditation itself. And we don't want too many distractions, whether they be noise or light. Trying to find a place that you can get comfortable, but not so comfortable that you fall asleep. Once you fall asleep, your meditation session is over. Lotus position is something that a lot of people are comfortable meditating in. I can't do that because of my back injury. I have to be laying down or sitting at a specific angle in order for me not to be in full pain. So I have to accommodate that. And we all have to make different accommodations for whatever injuries or circumstances that we're dealing with. So the goal here is to find a place where you won't be disturbed, but you won't fall asleep. Then we can move on to step number 3. Focus on your breathing. This is an important one. This is where it all starts. Focus on the breathing. It sounds simple enough, right? How are we going to breathe? Well, I breathe all the time. Well, now we're focusing on it, and we're doing it intentionally. That's the difference. We're simply just focusing on the act of breathing. We're just sharpening our focus on the breath itself. In through the nose, exhale through your mouth. I like 3-second breaths in, and then I hold it for a millisecond or so, and then I breathe out. After about 3 good breaths, in through my nose, out through my mouth, I can feel a tangible difference in my body if I take full, deep breaths and focus on them. That's what we're trying to do. And then we have to remember to keep breathing after that. We're just setting the rhythm. Focus and set the rhythm. That's what we're doing with focused breathing. Focusing on the breathing is the goal. Now moving on to step number 4. Step number 4 is acknowledging the body. How do we acknowledge the body? We reach out to it. We check in on it. This is an exercise that's going to help you connect your mind to your body. You do this internally, and we do this exercise in order to strengthen this bond between our mind and our body. Mind-body connection, likely a little bit frayed over the years, over things we've done. Some of us have ignored our bodies over the years. We feel little pains here and there, and we don't even listen to them. We just keep on moving. Well, we're going to try to reestablish that contact. Now we're going to go down, and we're going to find our furthest point. Most of us, that's going to be our toes. Start at our toes, and we acknowledge them. Now, it sounds kind of weird that we would talk to our body parts for some of us, but understand this is a mental exercise. Say, toes. Thank you, toes. I acknowledge how you're feeling. Wiggle the toes a little bit. Move on. Move to the arches. Thank you, arches. Thank you, arches, for doing what you do. Or you could just say, I feel my arches. I feel my ankle and just kind of wiggle it a bit. I feel my calves. I feel my knees. I feel my thighs. And move up your body through your arms, internal organs as well, to your heart and your lungs. Talk to your heart and your lungs, check in on them, throat. You end up at your head, and you acknowledge your five senses and your nervous system, and you can even acknowledge your skin. However you want to do it, however you want to end. I usually end up top because we're going to be going back into the mind for the next step. As we're doing these acknowledgments, you may feel a tingle kind of running up your body a little bit. You will notice a change in your body once you kind of go through. It'll feel more relaxed. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, whatever you got to do as you go through and acknowledge them. See if they're relaxed. Relax these different body parts. Check in on them. See how they're doing. Acknowledging the body and building that mind-body connection is the most important thing that we're doing right here. The nervous system can take a small break there, and that break is something that's needed, okay? The next step is big, step number 5, which is trying to settle the mind. Mind might be going a million miles an hour. Now you're trying to slow your mind, settle your mind, clear your mind, as some people say. People say, I can't clear my mind, it's full of stuff. Don't worry, just try to settle it down. All we're doing right now is we're going over and we're hitting the light switch. We're trying to turn it off. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, we got a pretty good idea. There's going to be a bunch of stuff coming in there, but we're just trying to make the effort to settle the mind. Now we see that that's more difficult than we thought it was. It's perfectly fine. Everybody has a hard time doing it. We're not trained to slow our mind down. So we're just putting the brakes on for the very first time, seeing how it lines up, okay? When you're trying to clear your mind, focus on nothing. Think of nothing. The goal here is simply just trying to clear your mind. Just trying to clear your mind. Once we've done that, the next step happens automatically. So step number 6 is watching your thoughts. Watching the speed, watching the subject, and watching the emotion that's tied to these particular thoughts that are coming into your mind. There may be certain themes that keep on revolving, that keep on coming up, certain emotions that keep on coming up, or just the same thought just keeps on ruminating, whether it's something that happened that day or earlier that week, something. So what you're trying to do is just watch, simply watch the thoughts that are coming in and going from your mind. This is going to get a little deeper, but we're just simply taking note today. Now we have an idea of what we're dealing with. The goal here is just watching your mind and watching what it does when you're trying to slow it down. Step number 7 is recommit with tools. So recommitting to clearing our mind. We can always step back. We always bring it back to step number 3 if need be, the breathing. Then we can bring the body online again. All these things we can cycle through those previous steps before. Or you can use mantras or visuals. I like personally just thinking of a very cool pond of water that's very relaxing and a leaf laying on top of it. Everybody has their own visuals they might use, or you might have a mantra that works well for you. Something like, you are safe here, or no one is judging you. Whatever the mantra might be, you can use that. And just keep on saying that over and over again in your head. Maybe think of it like this. Here's a little analogy. Imagine there's a huge mess, and rather than clean up the whole mess, just for that day because you have company coming over, you cover it with a blanket. That's what the visual or the mantra will essentially do. And we're not going to hold on to that blanket. That blanket isn't going to become permanent furniture. We're just simply using it for the time being until we can get in the practice of slowing our mind down and hitting the brakes on our minds. All we're doing is simply using some tools to help us. If you have one that works well for you and you want to keep it in the rotation for a while, by all means, do that. And then eventually you'll be able to just clear your mind. But for now, use what you need. Then once we actually finally get a little bit of peace, we can move on to step number 8. Step number 8 is finish intentionally. We're going to notice how we feel. We're going to notice how far we've gotten. We're going to notice how we did with clearing our mind and what kind of progress we made that particular day. If you were able to clear your mind for a little while, you could feel it. You'd be able to feel it, and you'll feel a difference in yourself. And once you feel that you've gotten as far as you can get with that particular day, with that particular session, we finish intentionally. Okay, I was able to clear my mind. I got 10 minutes, and 5 of those minutes were very peaceful. I feel kind of relaxed. I can set my mind on something new. And then you return to the real world. And that's it. Simple as that. That's all it takes. That is a meditation session. Pretty simple, straightforward for beginners, but even people that have been doing it for a while could find this method helpful. Great. It's worked for me. I hope it works for you. I want to thank you for watching up to this point. Speaking of watching, in the next episode, The Watcher, we're going to talk about how to observe your thoughts with more clarity and begin to slow them down. If you found this helpful and would like to support the channel, there's a link in the bio. Thanks again. See you next time.